Now, it's Women's History Month in the US, and with President Joe Biden's nomination of the first black woman Supreme Court Justice, there's hope that this is a win for women, specifically black women. But women in the country are facing many challenges in the areas of health, from trying to access healthcare or having to manage the steady rollback of abortion rights. In 2021, Vice President Kamala Harris launched the first ever White House Day of Action on maternal health to address the high death rates black women and women of colour and women from rural populations face when giving birth. So are women winning, especially when it comes to their health, and how can more policies be created to ensure more lives are saved? Well, let's bring in health advocate and motivational speaker Ella Destiny, and she joins us live now from the US. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Now, can you take us through some examples of policies which you think are a constant battle for women and where there's a lack of support from the government, and what more could be done?
Absolutely. A lot of the policies and the lack of support from the government comes from not allowing us the information that we need to seek better health care. We are trying to get a bill passed for fibroids because a lot of African American women, unfortunately, between the ages of 15 and 35, we suffer from fibroids. And so we need to get these bills passed so that we can get the health care that we need, so that we can get the information that we need, the research that we need to figure out how we can not have these issues anymore. And I think a lot of the problem is that, just lack of information, not allowing us to make informed decisions about our bodies, and them telling us this is what you need to do as opposed to these are your options.
Now, I mean, during the 2016 presidential election campaign, obviously Hillary Clinton was the Democrat candidate. She promised major changes for women. She also was a huge advocate for healthcare. Now, of course, we know what happened, and obviously she wasn't elected. But do you think her policies have helped lay almost a foundation of change, maybe within the Democratic Party?
I think it's helped a little bit, but it's not enough. We need more policies. We need more people advocating for our health care. It shouldn't have just stopped. She got the ball rolling, but then it just stopped. And so we need to get the ball going again. Someone else needs to pick up the ball and take us further. It can't just stop with one person. Like, we have to continuously put forth these efforts, pass these bills, get us the information and the health care that we need. And so she absolutely did an amazing job with getting it started, but it just was not enough.
The current Vice President Kamala Harris last year introduced the White House Day of Action. Is that, would you say, a small step? Do you want to see more steps like that? Basically, bring these issues to the public eye.
Absolutely. It was definitely a small step. And I believe that, as the years progress, the longer that she's in office, that she's going to make these changes. She just has to have the resources. She has to have the support to go forward. She can't do it alone. And so we have to make sure that we are supporting her so that she can support us.
As a motivational speaker, with one of the roles you have, I mean, what sort of issues or challenges do you find a lot of people that you speak to in your job, a lot of women are finding?
A lot of the issues that women are having, it's support, it's the mental health capacity, it's all of these things. It's the lack of support, it's the lack of people awareness. It's the lack of resources, those things. And so, when I speak to these women, I'm encouraging them, don't stop fighting, don't stop talking, don't stop speaking, don't stop asking questions. We have to advocate for ourselves. And so those are the conversations that I'm having. That's the coaching that I'm doing, that you do have a voice and your voice matters.
And do you think these issues may have got worse during the various lockdowns and restrictions over the last couple of years because of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Absolutely. Over the past few years, there's been so many restrictions. We can't go to the hospitals. And so now we're having these telehealth appointments. Well, if we need to have blood work done, if we need to have ultrasounds done and those things, we can't do it via telehealth. And so there's definitely been restrictions. But now that things are kind of trying to get back to normal, I think that it'll be a little bit better for us. But there were definitely restrictions that are not so much anymore.
Well, obviously, we heard last night during the President's State of the Union address that in effect, COVID is the learning to live with COVID isn't an option, but basically the country will be less restricted. But if you saw the President's speech last night, do you think there was anything that was glaringly missing from some of the policies and ideas that you would like to see implemented?
I would like to see more mental health policies implemented. COVID, I lost my dad to COVID. My parents were hospitalized on their 47th wedding anniversary. My mom survived. My dad passed away. And so that definitely took a toll. I think we need more mental health resources. People are committing suicide. People have been home for 2 or 3 years. And so it's just like, mentally we are drained. The whole entire climate of the world right now is at a mental standstill. And so I think more mental health policies need to be implemented. And we need to talk about that a lot more than what we're doing.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, that basically mental health has to be brought into the open dialogue and not almost like some people see it as almost a secret. But sadly for now we have to leave it because we've run out of time. But thank you so much indeed for joining us this afternoon here on Arise America. Well, that's